We have risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Scholars of Wrestling Show, episode 382. I'm your man behind the microphone, Scholar Jeff. Joining us this week is the OG undisputed scholar himself, Scholar Tarek. Scholar Tarek, how are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing great. It is Double or Nothing weekend. I am super excited for this crazy as shit pay-per-view. Let's get right to it and let's go predict.
And also joining us, the second undisputed scholar. It is a title he has earned with great esteem, the one and only Scholar Brian. Scholar Brian, how are we doing this evening?
Pretty good. It's an AEW pay-per-view weekend, which means 9 times out of 10 it's going to be awesome. So I am hyped up, ready to go. Let's see how whether the belt's on the line or not. I'm ready to predict.
I just have to ask,
and I'm going to come out on top.
What's that?
What's that one time?
You said 9 times out of 10. What was the one time that didn't make it 10 for 10?
Which was the one where Matt Hardy landed on his head? That's it.
Oh,
was that like
everyone
a year
was
ago?
bitching at that pay-per-view. It was like a year and a half ago, but that pay-per-view wasn't great.
Was that the same event with Moxley and Kingston planning on going out in that death match and then just was nothing but sparklers?
No.
I think that was after that.
Was before. No, that was before that. But
That's a 9 out of 10 event. At least how you end the show.
No, that was no, because that entire I think All Out 2020. I think
possibly
not great. Yeah, that pay-per-view not great all the way through. The Revolution with the barbed wire death match, that ending not great, but rest of the show great. All Out 2019 was fine. That's where I went 9 times out of 10. But ready to go. AEW has not fully disappointed me WWE style yet. So hopefully this isn't one of those.
And I highly doubt it will be.
Let's get into it.
With no more further ado, you're reading the title. You know what we're here for. It's AEW Double or Nothing 2022. So let's start off with the 2 matches that have just been added as of Friday, the day we're recording this. First off, we've got Darby Allin versus Kyle O'Reilly. Tarek, you're going to kick things off. Who do you got?
It's actually really funny. Of all, let's see, 13 matches now added to this card. This is one of the 3 that is just, it can go either way. I don't know where to go. So pretty much I'm just guessing out of my ass. And if he loses, like of all the times I kind of predicted against him, I predict for him and he loses, I'm going to just be very upset. It's pretty much the reverse Charlotte Flair for me. I'm going to go with Darby.
All right, that's 1 for Darby. Brian, who do you got between Darby and Kyle O'Reilly?
I feel with the way that he performed during the Owen Hart tournament and the fact that Sting isn't going to be there.
That's true.
In Darby Allin's corner because of the injury, I think that maybe Bobby Fish gets involved. And I just think that right now Kyle O'Reilly has more going for him story-wise than Darby does. So we're gonna go right off the bat with differences here. I'm going Kyle O'Reilly.
To be fair, I completely forgot Sting wasn't going to be there. So that Mm.
And to be fair, I honestly don't really care. I'm thinking that's, this match was just thrown together because they love Darby. I love Darby. Then they want to give him a paycheck and a win on the pay-per-view. So with much delight and a split room, I'm going to say Darby. But outside of that, we've got our next freshly hot off the presses kind of match. We've got an intergender trios match between American Top Team versus a team of Sammy Guevara, Ty Conti, and Frankie Kazarian. Brian, it's your pick up next. Who do you got between American Top Team, Sammy Tay, and Frankie?
It's Paige Van Zant's first pay-per-view match in AEW. She's a UFC fighter. She's the AEW version of Ronda Rousey. So, yeah, she's not losing here. It's going to be Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, and Paige Van Zant. Paige Van Zant pinning Tay Conti.
Yeah, I can't disagree with anything you said. Plus, it looked with the other stipulation that they talked about where none of them could challenge for the TNT title if they lost American Top from Sammy Tay and Frankie Kazarian. I'm also going to go with American Top Team, where they're just not the heels in this equation. Not this time. And I can't believe I'm saying it, but I'm pulling for American Top Team. Tarek, do we have an accord?
We do. Pretty much what Brian said. It's Paige Van Zant's first match. She's not losing. And it's now more of I want Sammy Guevara away from the TNT championship. I'm done with him with that belt. Yeah, 3-time champion. Good la-di-da. Show was a picture of him naked with it. Now he just destroyed it. But everyone just seems to think we forgot that there is actually a second TNT championship. Where the hell is that belt?
Oh no! Now there's a third. There's a third golden version that just got shown off tonight.
You know what? You know what though? This one looks awesome. This one looks amazing.
It does actually.
Okay. Jesus Christ! I'm done with this. I'm done with these guys with this belt.
No, this one looks like a worthy TNT title. Holy shit!
All right.
But yes, I'm also going with Scorpio, Ethan, and Paige.
All right. Now let's get off to some more serious matches here for a moment. Let's talk about the team of Hook and Danhausen versus Tony Nese and Mark Sterling. And I'm going to go Hookhausen. Go Hookhausen or be cursed. Tarek, what say you? Are you going Hookhausen or are you going to be cursed? Hookhausen indeed.
Of course.
Okay. What do you think, Brian? Hookhausen or cursed?
I ain't trying to be cursed. Hookhausen it is.
Can't argue with that one. I love a good consensus.
At least with those predictions, yeah.
It's Hook. If Hook's in the match, he wins. That's it. Done. Sorry.
And I just want to see a good showing from Danhausen. It's we've waited long enough. I want to see this guy go.
I want to see him go, but if he just curses somebody and Hook beats the shit out of him, I'm fine with that too. That's fine.
Nah, he's also got to dump teeth down somebody's throat. He's got to do the whole package for Danhausen, and it's gonna be glorious and a great way to kick off the night.
You do that to Mr. Sterling and have Hook dismantle Tony Nese. There you go. There's your match.
And what a great match it'll be. A great way to kick off the night. But almost as good, we also have a TNT championship match on the buy-in. We've got the champ Jade Cargill defending against Anna Jay. Tarek, it's your pick up next. Who do you got between the two ladies?
I'm just going to go with Jade. I'm going to be safe here. I'm just choosing Jade Cargill. I really don't have anything else to really add, but yeah,
because she's Jade.
Because she's Jade, yes.
Can't argue with that one. So I shan't. That's Brian's job now. Who do you got between Jade Cargill and Anna Jay?
It's like I really like Anna Jay. I really like the way she's improved and done all that. But yeah, she's not on the level of stardom of Jade Cargill at the moment. And you don't have Jade Cargill lose that title until you have somebody who it makes sense to have her lose to. And sorry, Anna Jay ain't it. So Jade Cargill retains.
3 for 3, Jade Cargill, green like money. Let's make it happen. Another great way to kick off a great night of wrestling. But now is the time we're back to the rest of the main card proper. Going to another trios match, we've got House of Black versus Death Triangle. Brian, it's your pick up next. Who do you got for this one?
Of course. It's hard for me because we've technically already had this match, except Phoenix was injured, so they had Rowan instead at the last pay-per-view. So it's like, do they do the 50-50 booking here? Or do they have House of Black continue to do that whole thing? Fuck it. House of Black. House of Black wins. I love Phoenix. I love Pentagon. I love Pac. But really, with what they've got going on in that company right now, the storylines they've got going on, there's nothing for them right now.
I'll tell you
Whereas
what.
you can put that's it.
I'll tell you what. With the way you were talking, I admit you almost had me. I don't think it's impossible for Death Triangle to win this thing. I really do not.
I don't either.
But that being said, I'm more confident than I was, but I'm not confident enough. I am also going to go House of Black to win on this one. After that, the question is, what is Tarek going to go for? Is he also going to go House of Black, or are you going to break from tradition and potentially get a point advantage on us by going Death Triangle? What do you got?
I just don't know if this match actually is point separate worthy, because this is also another one that is the second of my 3 matches that either way can go. Do they do the 50-50 booking, or I am gonna go with House of Black as well, because I feel like they would need the win more. They need the momentum in their favor. And what's her name?
The cheerleader.
Julia Hart.
Julia Hart.
I feel like they're finally gonna do something with the Julia Hart story. I mean, this whole thing. I mean, that's got to go somewhere, doesn't it?
It does. And truthfully, because the Hollywood Blondes aren't involved in this match right now, I didn't think of any involvement from Julia Hart. But now that you bring it up, you do have a point. She could possibly get involved during the match.
I feel like, yeah. I actually was thinking, do I have anything to add to that? No.
Well, William, you already made the point.
Yeah, I made the point. I'm like, what more else can I just say other than it? It's got to go somewhere. That whole arc has got to go somewhere. There's only so many times where she could just sit there and mope before she actually, does something. And even at that one moment of her doing, like, the idea of, oh, will she use the chair? Will she use the chair? Will she finally use the chair? Will she finally?
She very well could. But anyway, now that those are in, we're going on to our next match, which is another tag match between the Hardys and the Young Bucks. I believe it's my pick first, and I'm not going to beat around the bush here. I'm going to go with the Hardys. I think they're just due for yet another win, especially with all the heel shenanigans and breaking out Gangrel of all people at tonight's episode of Rampage, which was glorious. Either way, I think the Hardys are due for a win in this case. Tarek, what do you think?
And of course, this is my number 3. Of course, I'm going right to the number 3. I was hoping to hear both arguments because I don't know what I don't know if Brian was going to go with the Young Bucks on this one. Let's try actually, it's funny because this one's actually, of the 3 matches, this one was the hardest for me. But I don't know. I'm probably just gonna go with the Young Bucks just to be different, and I don't know. I just feel like whatever Team Elite is calling themselves nowadays, I feel like they kind of need a good momentum swing in their favor. And one match in particular later for this prediction show is just not enough for the whole stable, if you know what I mean.
I can see that. But now the question is, in the middle of a split room, Brian, it's your pick. Which way you going here?
See, I feel like they're setting up for a last run, if you will, for the Hardys, a last title run. And in order to do that, okay, I don't think the Young Bucks beat them here. I think that the Hardys beat them here. Then they go on, they win the tag team titles, and then the Young Bucks beat them for the titles, going back towards ROH, where the Hardys beat them for the ROH titles before they went to WrestleMania. So, like, doing a full circle thing. So the Hardys beat them again in AEW right now. So mark that down. I'm saying the Hardys win here.
And that's what I was waiting for.
I'm saying the Hardys win here. They win the titles down the line, and then that's when the Young Bucks get their win over the Hardys. When the Young Bucks beat the Hardys for the titles.
All right then.
You don't have the Hardys. You don't have the Young Bucks beat the Hardys when it means nothing.
There you go. Speaking of beating someone when it means nothing, we've got a massive team brawl, whatever you want to call it. It's the Jericho Appreciation Society versus the Blackpool Combat Club, Santana Ortiz and Eddie Kingston. Oh boy. Tarek, I believe it's your pick up next. Who do you got?
This is obviously going to be just a continuing feud. And I'm going to go with the Chris Jericho Appreciation Society. And I actually think Jericho is going to get his win back over Eddie Kingston. We're actually going to see Bryan Danielson and Eddie Kingston implode. They're going to just we're going to get a sports entertainment ending in this match. And this storyline's far from over. We're going to get their
Blackpool Combat
Club. I don't know why I brain for Blackpool Combat Club. They're going to get their revenge, but this is just the start of a long going feud. And I think the heels are going to take the first real victory in this one. Because hell, even what is this called? Anarchy in the Arena match. Hell, this whole thing just screams of sports entertainment.
Potentially, anyway.
To me,
I
it
can
does.
I can see it going that way. But Brian, what do you think? Who do you see walking away with a win here?
This was actually the hardest one for me to pick, because it it could really go either way. It depends on whether you want this, as much as everybody else involved is a part of everything. This is still Jericho and Kingston. This whole thing is Jericho and Kingston. You've got the outside crew. You've got Santana and Ortiz and the outside crew at the Blackpool Combat Club. I don't think that they're gonna implode. I think that for Moxley's sake, that Danielson's gonna fall in line, because I feel like that's the way that the Blackpool. I think that's the way that the Combat Club is gonna work. Like they're gonna put all other BS aside in the name of beating the shit out of who they're facing. I
With what
feel
they're
like
going,
I feel like I feel like that's the way that it's the whole thing. Like, we all know that Danielson and Kingston have beef. Okay, everybody knows. They know. Okay, they've shown that. But in the name of beating the shit out of these guys, they're gonna put their differences aside for now. That'll
I could see
come back, and
Danielson. I could see
that'll
Danielson
come.
doing that, because he'll be the one that's be like, you're right. But Kingston is such an emotional
No, but
whiny
Kingston won't
bitch.
want to do it. Kingston won't want to do it because Moxley's on his team. and
I stand with
and
what I said.
I understand that, but I don't think that there's going to be an implosion here. It depends on how you want this to go. If you want this feud to end in a blood and guts match, then you have Jericho beat Kingston here.
So is that your prediction,
if you want,
Jericho Appreciation Society?
hold on.
I'm holding.
If you want this feud to end here, then you have Kingston beat Jericho again. But you know what? Jericho just became a wizard. Okay, you can't become a wizard and then lose your powers in one shot. Okay? So I think Jericho uses his wizard powers to beat Kingston, and we get the blood and guts match. I'm going Jericho Appreciation Society. I don't think there's any bullshit here with teams imploding or anything like that, because I think we need to get to the blood and guts match, and you can't do that if Danielson and Kingston just break down here.
I really wish you guys weren't making sense, so I'm going to be a coward and say Jericho Appreciation Society. I'm going to go against my better judgment here, and I'm going to be like, you know what? It's too possible. There's too many outs for everybody else. It's, damn it, why'd you have to take that level in Wizard, Jericho? I hate you.
I also really want the actual blood and guts match. I really want that. Anarchy in the arena sounds great, but I want blood and guts. That's it. That's why I'm going with the JAS at this point.
Well, hey, speaking of blood and guts, we've got a grudge match for the ages coming up next. We've got MJF versus Wardlow. Brian, you're up next. Make it official.
Wardlow. All day, every day.
I too am also going with Wardlow. It's, some things are just to be expected at this point. Tarek, do we want to make it official?
We are, but I wouldn't get past AEW to have MJF basically screw us all over again. It goes back to the whole discussion we had a while back of like, of the idea of this match actually happening. It's like, oh, imagine if MJF does end up winning and just having Wardlow just showing up in Ring of Honor. but Wardlow is just
Oh,
too big,
damn it.
right?
Why'd
He's
you have to say that? Oh,
Wardlow. No, it's not changing anything. Wardlow is right now too big to stay away from AEW. So Wardlow is. I'm picking Wardlow as well, but I wouldn't actually be surprised if they pulled some bullshit with MJF. It's just stealing a win.
before I dwell on that thought any further, I need to move on. Because right now we've got the rest of the O&R tournaments, the finals, starting with the women's match. And I'm going to go with Ruby Soho beating Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. I feel like she's due, and she's just got to make up for lost time, and she needs the boost where Britt Baker does not. So I'm going Ruby Soho. Tarek, I believe it's your turn next. Who you got?
I'm also going to go with Ruby Soho because this is now just more of I love Britt Baker, but she's not the only one on this roster. She's not the only one that needs everything on this roster. At least on this women's roster. Ruby needs this win. She needs that good moment, and Britt Baker does not need this at all. She's already a super well established name in AEW. Ruby's been around for how long, and she's done little to nothing. So yeah, Ruby needs this win.
And Brian, we're back to you. Are you also going to go Ruby Soho, or are you going to come up with some explanation that we didn't think of and go Dr. Britt Baker and make us regret our lives?
I'm not going to go with Ruby Soho, and here's the reason why. It will go into what you're probably going to have as the next match as your prediction. I feel like we're going with a pairing here to win each side of the tournament. So, as much as I would love for it to be Ruby Soho, first of all, she won against Chris Statlander tonight, and the crowd did not love it at all. Like, they booed the shit out of Ruby Soho for winning that match. So it's like you can play off that. And second of all, I as much as it's a WWE move, it makes sense. It makes sense for the for two top heels to win both tournaments and rule that part of the division together. So it makes all the sense in the world for me for Britt Baker to win here. As much as people might not like it, it makes all the sense in the world for me.
Well, I gotta say, I was not expecting that at all. So
I was
being sarcastic, but I didn't expect Brian to actually drop that on me. So, phooey. All right.
I'm his tag team partner, and I saw that coming a mile away.
As he saw my face as soon as you said, "Are you gonna do it?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna."
I'm like, yeah, he's gonna do it. Of course he's gonna do it. Of course he is.
All right. Well, let's put this to the test, Smarty Pants. We've got the men's version of the Owen Hart tournament. The finals, we've got Samoa Joe versus Adam Cole Bebe. Tarek, who's got this one?
Hold on 1 second. Just a couple matches I forgot to fill in the blanks here. I'm gonna go with Adam Cole Bebe. Because I understand what Brian was going for, but if they were actually still on screen more often as the power couple, I would agree with that. I probably would have picked Britt, but but because they haven't been shown together in a while, I'm gonna go with Adam Cole Bebe being the one lone man to take this one and get that one big for undisputed elite.
All right, Brian, you're up next. Who do you got between Simone Joe and Adam Cole, baby?
Yeah, you heard my explanation earlier.
Yeah.
It's Samoa Joe has the Jay Lethal and them are his enemies are gonna come out. There's gonna be some bullshit, and yeah, that's how you get Adam Cole, baby, and Britt Baker as your Owen Hart tournament champions, and they can rule together, and that's how you get them on screen together.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is going to be a rarity for me. For once in my life, predicting pay-per-views, I will not be a coward. I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to say Joe wins this thing. Just because he's Samoa Joe, and I feel like this would be a wonderful way to boost up Ring of Honor before its full-time return, however that may look. But elsewhere, we've got yet another tag team match. This time it's a triple threat tag match for the titles. That's enough tease in that sentence. We've got Jurassic Express, the champs, defending against the team of Team Taz and Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. Brian, it's your pick next. Who do you got?
Fucking hell.
I don't think that's a tag team, Brian.
Should be.
I've never
Invalid
that would
entry.
be a good one. Ah, shit. Okay. I want to say that Jurassic Express will lose here.
But I'm sensing a butt here.
Does Christian turn on them here, or does he turn on them when they lose the titles to the Hardys?
I have absolutely no idea.
That's my issue. It's like, when does Christian turn? Because that's what this whole thing, that's what this whole story stems on. It's like, when will Christian turn? Will he do it here? And they've been getting prickly. You know what? I think we're getting transitional champs here. I don't think that they're gonna have the belts for long. The Hardy Boys will win very soon afterwards. I think the Team Taz takes it. I think Willie Hobbs and Ricky Starks will take the win here.
Oh boy, this one's tough. This honestly is one of those things that can go either way. I'm gonna. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna go with Keith Lee and Swerve, just because I feel like the heat on Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus have been dying down. So I think there's going to be a title change on this one. It could go either way between Team Taz and Swerve and Keith Lee. So this time, for me, my money, I'm going to go with Swerve and Keith Lee. I think they've got a legit shot as much as anybody else. Tarek, take us home. Who do you got for this one?
I'm going to go with Swerve and Glory. I'm going to also go with Swerve and Keith Lee, just because I kind of I really like these two together.
Yeah, apparently I just realized like 3 days ago that they actually have a bit of a history of tagging together. So
yeah, I'm all for these guys winning the tag team belts. Also just because I love Keith Lee to death. Give the man a belt. Singles belt, tag team belt, I don't care. Give him a belt. It's Keith Lee.
He's going to get a belt one way or the other sometime.
And to answer your question, Brian, I think Christian is not going to cost them anything, but he's going to attack he's going to attack him after.
Yeah. My
Because
whole thing
they're gonna
is,
build with that singles match. That's gonna be the
my whole thing is that the next tag team champions after this new tag team champions is gonna be the Hardys. So it's like I don't want Swerve and Keith Lee to be transitional champions because the Hardys are gonna be champions soon. and that's my thing. So that's why I was like, go with Team Taz. They can hold the titles for like a couple weeks. When you do the big show that you normally do, where you have a title, where you have one title switch, that's when you can have the Hardys do it, and it doesn't hurt Lee and Strickland because you're not pinning them after a month as champions. That's my whole thing. If you're gonna change the champions and do transitional champions, then don't give it to Lee and Strickland. If you're gonna go full out and let them have a run, then yeah, give it to Lee and Strickland.
I see them holding it for a while. A good while.
Right. Well, speaking of holding and changing titles, let's get to the first of two world championships we've got on the card tonight. We've got Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb for the women's championship. For this one, I gotta go with my girl Thunder Rosa, just because I'm going pure out of bias over here. I love Thunder Rosa. Like CM Punk said, her being billed from the graveyards of Tijuana is just plain damn cool. So I'm gonna go with Thunder to win. Tarek, who do you got for this one?
Thunder. That's all I got.
Thunder Rosa. She flies like thunder. Brian, who do you got? Do we have an accord?
Yeah, I'm playing that AC/DC song right now. Thunderstruck. Thunder.
I'll go Garth Brooks and the Thunder Rose. And the lightning strikes.
There's no reason for Thunder Rosa to lose her. Like, I love Serena Deeb, but no. Not right now.
Yeah, I think she's definitely going to be built up to something more substantial in the future. But now, without further ado, that brings us to what presumably will be the main event of the night. We've got Hangman Page, the champion, defending the AEW championship against CM Punk. And Tarek, it's up to you for your first and final pick of the evening. Who do you got?
We are about to see the beginning of the new Summer of Punk. CM Punk for the win.
All right, Brian.
I love this dude. I'll just point it out there. I love the storyline between these two. I love it. I love it.
I think there's much more to come, but I'll save that for a moment. Before that, Brian, who do you got?
Hold on. Give me a second. My headphones just popped out. But that's
just say the name, Brian. We all know where you're going with this.
No, you don't. Because
I don't.
What I'm saying is I love the feud too. And I'm gonna keep going with what the feud says. And it's all about CM Punk asking Page to shake his hand. All that, right? So everyone's saying that Hangman Page is gonna go heel here after he loses to CM Punk. I'm going the other way, and I'm saying that CM Punk goes heel after he loses to Hangman Page, because Hangman Page is going to go for the handshake, and CM Punk is going to go the complete opposite of what he said.
It's actually funny that I actually had as soon as I printed this rundown, I looked at it, I'm like, Brian told us what his prediction was going to be weeks ago. So, of course, it's not going to change. Of course, it's Adam Page.
Because the whole just look, I'm not fanboying out, okay? Yeah, my fanboy heart says CM Punk, okay, all the way. But if you look at the story and how it's been going, okay, you can take it one of two ways. okay, the way that Tarek has actually taken it, just like CM Punk's gonna win and his Hangman Page gonna shake his hand, or you can go the way that I go and be like, Hangman Page is gonna win, and is CM Punk gonna put his money where his mouth is? and that's
the way I'm looking at this, I kind of see if they actually are planning on turning CM Punk heel, which is both good and bad because the man could do both. I mean, the man could do anything. I could see this as him winning the belt and actually proving Adam Page right that he is kind of that asshole that he actually claims to be, and having him win the belt in a I guess I would say in a dirty way would actually just be like, you see, you guys are all turning against me because you like CM Punk, and I've been saying he's an asshole, and guess what? I was right. He is an asshole. He has been playing all of you.
And you know what?
I just feel, I still feel like CM Punk is not the one to take the title from Hangman Page. He's the one to show. Hangman Page still has run in this title reign, and I still think that MJF is the one to beat Hangman Page. So I'm going Hangman Page, CM Punk to turn heel afterwards because he doesn't shake the man's hand, even though he's been trying to get him to shake his hand the entire time. That's where I'm going.
I'll tell you what, I would agree with you, Brian, actually, if it weren't for one important detail that I haven't heard either of you bring up yet. The reaction for CM Punk getting the title, it's definitely one of those things where you gotta strike when the iron's at its hottest. And right now, I feel like everything, too many things. Oh, well, who cares? The program is too hot. Whether you continue the thing with Adam Page or you move on and you have title defenses against other big names in AEW, which I still am convinced we're going to get. There's a strong chance we're going to get MJF versus Punk again, this time for the title before the end of the year. That's my prediction.
But who's the heel?
Yes.
At that point, that's the issue.
You can change things around. They're good enough at what they do where they can make anything happen. But either way, I'm not going to beat around the bush here. I'm going to go CM Punk wins and becomes the new AEW champion. So that's all I got for that one. And with that, all of our predictions are in.
Yeah, I actually feel like if CM Punk wins the title, I'm gonna be the one. I'm gonna be the one to say it. It's a mistake. At this point in time, yes, it's a mistake.
Well, those are our predictions are going to be locked in, and with this much surprising difference of opinion,
I do have one question.
It is going to make this very interesting. Yes, Tarek.
My question is now more towards the fantasy predictions. Since the Owen Hart Champion tournament are winning belts, does that count as title changes?
I'm going to say no because I thought that was a trophy.
From what I heard, they're winning belts.
Okay, I heard trophy.
Well, they haven't legitimately said that yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so well, how about this?
I just assumed no, so that's how I put it.
I'm treating it like the Andre the Giant that they get the big ass fucking thing.
Okay, how about this? We'll go with this if everyone's cool with it. If it's some sort of trophy, then no, it does not count towards a title change. If it's an actual physical belt that they win, similar to the belt that Braun Strowman won in Saudi Arabia that one time, then we'll say that counts as a title change.
Damn it.
How's that? Does that work for everybody?
It's not like we're defending the party championship. We're not having a party.
Not this time anyway. But we'll get to that when it comes.
Yeah.
But anyway, those are our predictions for AEW Double or Nothing. Now is the time where we're going to pitch it back over to you, our fellow fans. Who do you think is going to walk away with a win at Double or Nothing? Who's going to win a title? is anyone from New Japan going to show up and make an appearance? We want to hear your opinions wherever we are, all across the internet. Facebook posts, YouTube comments, all of our across our social medias. Wherever you are, drop us a line. Whether you're watching us on YouTube or you're checking us out on our podcast audio edition, if there's a comment section, if there's a description of the show, check the description. You're going to find our link tree with all our relevant links, from everything to our shop, to our latest episodes, to even our own prediction form where you can play along with us at the Scholars of Wrestling show during the show. So please check us out, find our link tree, and of course, play along with us and join the conversation. Scholar Brian, where can I reach you?
You can reach me in my fantasy world where nobody fanboys about CM Punk at Atomic
Oh,
Beanpole.
shade.
And Tarek, where can they find you?
You can find me possibly on Twitter at the Avataric.
And you
I
can
rarely
find
show
me.
up there anyway, so I don't know.
We are all across the place. Just check out our link tree. You can find us wherever we are. But as far as me goes, you can find me at I'm Robbie Rage on Twitter. That's where I am. I know I'm going to be live tweeting the entire night. But hey, you know that there's going to be smack talk to be had and conversations to be avoided. But you know who we are. You know what we're about. We are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
See you all at Double or Nothing.